The highlights you see in the background right now are from December. And the reason I bring this up is because these teams have not seen each other in a very long time. And the last time they saw each other, the Lakers roster was incredibly different. And I bring this up because it's going to make the start of the series very interesting, as these teams have not had looks at each other in their current forms. Let's just take a look at the Lakers box score from when they played in January. Look at that starting lineup. JTA, Thomas Bryant, Beverly, Schroeder. Max Christie was starting. Now he only plays if it's a blowout. So this is clearly not the team that the Nuggets are going to face in the conference finals. Now, getting into the title of the video, I think one aspect of Jokic that's going to make it different for the Lakers defense is during the playoffs, the Lakers have faced two guard-centric teams, with Ja Morant and Steph Curry being the main focus of who they have to stop. And when that's the case, they can sort of have those guys hounded up top and then funnel them into Anthony Davis where he can protect the rim. But when Jokic is in the paint or in the mid-range area, it's going to make the Lakers have different looks defensively than what they've had so far in the postseason. Starting with Jokic himself, he is having one of the most dominant offensive postseasons we've seen in a long time. But across from him is Anthony Davis, who's having one of the most dominant defensive postseasons we've seen in a long time. So you sort of have a case of an unstoppable force versus an immovable object. I think the main challenge for Anthony Davis this series is he's going to get used in a lot of different ways on a game by game basis. I think you will see moments where he's no longer in the paint and he's no longer roaming and he's more just zoned one on one on Jokic and is doing more single coverage. But I also think there's going to be moments where they try and roll with him in the paint as a protector and then give Jokic a different look one on one. Now, when I bring up different looks, that doesn't mean anything is a definite. Nothing is going to 100% work against a guy like Jokic. Think of it in the same vein that the Lakers tried to guard Steph. Now, obviously, these guys aren't the same player, they play way differently. What I mean by this is constantly throwing different looks at him. Because when you have a guy that's that dominant offensively, it's not about, oh, we have to shut him down 100%. It's more, you want to try and slow him down or make him uncomfortable, whether it's for a quarter, for a half, for the last play of the game, whatever it may be, you just want to gain a quick advantage on them. And the way the Lakers did that against Curry was they started out with Vanderbilt, and when Vanderbilt wasn't working, they switched to having Austin Reeves as the primary defender. And then they could switch off Austin Reeves and do more versatile things. And in the end, they ended with Schroeder directly as a primary on Steph. So what I'm getting at is you're going to have to throw a lot of looks at a guy like Jokic because during a series where he can continue to figure you out, you need to do different things to make him uncomfortable. I think Jokic is so good that the main look the Lakers will have to do is just straight up using Anthony Davis. You're just going to have to use your best defender at this point. And this will leave the Lakers very vulnerable because you've seen in the first two series that the Lakers don't give a fuck about your supporting cast sometimes. They will just aim to stop your best player and make other guys beat you. And Murray, Porter Jr., and then the open shooters for the Nuggets have just been punishing teams when they sell out on Jokic. So you have this look with AD, right, where he's a bigger body who's quicker and more athletic. But you could try other looks while keeping AD in the rim protector spot, and that could potentially make things harder in itself. What I mean by that is you could maybe even try fronting Jokic with LeBron and having AD behind him. And what LeBron would do differently than AD is he'd be a stronger player with a lower center of gravity. And I'm not saying neither of these things are necessarily going to work. It's just more about giving versatile looks and trying to confuse or make Jokic uncomfortable as much as you can. Another thing that should be expected of the Lakers and what they're going to try to do to make Jokic uncomfortable is you are going to see the services of players you haven't really seen yet be called upon. Mo Bamba is rumored to potentially be back. You could have a look where you have AD directly on Jokic and you have Bamba back there as a rim protector, or maybe even just giving Bamba backup center minutes. Another potential look would be Wenyen Gabriel, who's a smaller player who could be more pesky, more energy, more effort. Again, as I keep repeating myself, none of these things will necessarily work. Your intention isn't to slow down because you can't slow him down. It's more just to Give him different looks, make him spend more time figuring things out, and make him more uncomfortable. And whether that gives you an advantage for a quarter, a half, or a play, you live with it. Shifting away from Jokic for a second, one dynamic that's going to make the Lakers defense a lot different is the Nuggets do have a bigger starting lineup, and the Lakers have faced more small ball teams. What I mean by that is you have Porter Jr., who's about 6'10 and a scoring threat on the wing. You have Aaron Gordon, who's a high flyer and a bigger body. And you have Jokic all in the same lineup. So, an adjustment you can expect to see the Lakers make is maybe moving Rui Hachimura up to the starting lineup because you need more big bodies, or Vanderbilt coming back into the starting lineup as you need more big bodies and more big play against the Nuggets team that is bigger. Briefly switching over to the guards and how the Lakers could look to try and stop them is I think you're going to see more of the same. Schroeder as a pest on Murray will probably be a primary look. Another look will definitely be the return of Jared Vanderbilt in the starting lineup, as he's a bigger body and he could make Murray more uncomfortable, maybe try and speed him up in certain situations. In general, we're going to be in store for one of the best offensive versus defensive matchups we've seen in recent memory, because the Lakers possess so much defensive versatility and can give nearly any look that they want, while on the other side, the Nuggets have one of the best offensive engines in Nikola Jokic, and they also possess so much versatility themselves and have been incredibly hard to stop. So you're going to see just a 6 to 7 game chess match from these units against each other, and it's something that I look forward to watching. Well, that's all I got today. Subscribe for more, and thanks for watching. I hope you have a good week.